Hi folks, my name's Barry Donaldson and this is Christy, my assistant for the day. And right now we're going to be demonstrating the PCL, or the posterior cruciate ligament strapping technique. Also useful if you've got any kind of injury in the posterior cartilage. It's basically an anti-hyperextension strapping of the knee. It is particular to me. It's a very effective strap. This was designed when I was the All Blacks Physio for a player in the 1995 World Cup, and he ruptured his posterior cruciate ligament and it kept him on the field without any further injury. The product we're using is a skin adhesive, 75mm elastic adhesive bandage and 38mm rigid strapping tape. As always, when applying the adhesive, we just mist it on. Less is more when you're using that product. Okay, and it's a very simple tape. We apply some fixing straps, top and bottom, and depending on how big the player is, depends on how many of these you will apply and how high you go, that is going to give you more strength for the strap. For the sake of the demonstration today, we'll simply use two. If I was sending Christy out to play her representative soccer, I would probably use a little bit more. And then very simply we web across the back. Remember, this is a simple anti-hyperextension. It prevents that end range hyperextension. That's what you've got to do. Now, there's a few key points about this, so you'll have to actually wait for the end of the video for me to give you the real key points. We layer this on. 3 strips, webbing it away. So covering as much skin surface and tape surface as we can. Then we apply verticals, top to bottom, just like so. 3 verticals on Christy. If it was a big props thigh, then it would be more. I have done up to 5 across a leg, 5 or 6. On Christy, 3 will be enough. Then what's very important is we tie it in here. Okay, tie them down. Tie them down. And then again we fix at the top, and at the bottom. And then we're going to stand Christy up, and she's not going to apply any pressure. And while we're in this position here, note that Christy's leg is around about 60 degrees of knee bend and knee flexion. So propped up on pillows or bags. We will now stand up for Christy. So normally your player would not be standing up on a step. We're doing this for filming purposes only. You can see that the knee is bent, and we're going to fix this on, starting at the front, wrap around just with EAB, just a light single strap of EAB there, closing off at the front, and also a light single strap around the bottom just to actually fix that in. And then, once again, same as we always do, rigid strapping, half on the EAB, half on the skin to tighten it down. Also just pinning down that EAB so it's not going to get brushed aside. And again, down the bottom, and half on the skin, half. And then, Christy, if you would turn around please, facing that way. That's it. And joining that tape up. And of course we join it so that we're not going to cut off circulation. There. And there. And Christy, if you would turn around please, you can see that that's really holding Christy in quite a degree of flexion. Now there are some important key points with this strapping, so you'll have to watch the key points at the end of the tape. But that is the strapping. The key points for the PCL strapping are that the knee has to be strapped with a good 60 degrees of knee bend for a start. It needs to be fixed down well, skin and EAB, but particularly this strapping needs to be applied initially at least an hour to 2 hours prior to game time. When the player initially gets off the bed, they will not be able to straighten their leg at all. By the time they get to warm up, the knee range of motion is beginning to get functional or gain functionality. By the time they hit the field, they are functional, but by doing that, it means that at the end of that 80 or 90 minutes of game time, they still cannot hyperextend that knee. And that's the key point to this. So make sure you strap in good flexion, and it has to be applied an hour and a half to 2 hours before the game. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it interesting, check out the other videos in this series of strapping techniques.